My brother stole my fiancée. Then my family betrayed me too. Before we begin the story, take a moment to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Your support means the world to our channel and helps us spread more shocking true stories to light. Now, let's get started. I'm Lucas, 30 years old, working as an EMT in Minnesota. It's not some fancy, high-profile job, but I save lives. I show up when people need me the most. And yeah, it pays the bills. I'm not trying to be a hero. Just stating the facts. For 3 years, I was with Melissa, a marketing executive. I thought she was the one. We were engaged, planning our future together. And for a while, everything seemed perfect. Until one night, out of nowhere, she sat me down and said, "I don't think this is working anymore." I was blindsided. I pressed her for a reason, but she kept dodging the question until we both had a few drinks. And then, finally, the truth came out. I just don't see myself with someone who's, an EMT forever. I thought you'd go to med school eventually. My friends are all with doctors and lawyers. And I'm with, well, you. That one hit deep. I had never planned on medical school. Melissa knew that from day one. Becoming a paramedic had been a possibility. Sure, it would have bumped my pay, but med school? Not once had I considered it. But hey, people want what they want, right? At first, my family had my back. My dad gave me the classic pep talk, "Son, don't let her have the satisfaction of breaking up with you. Be the man, end it on your terms." And I did. I broke things off, packed up my life, and moved out of our apartment. It sucked, big time. Crashing in my friend's spare room wasn't exactly where I pictured myself at 30. But at least I had my dignity. Or so I thought. Because as the weeks went by, something started to feel off. The signs were always there, I just didn't see them. At first, my family seemed supportive. They told me I was better off. That Melissa wasn't good enough for me anyway. My mom even said, "Now you can find someone who truly appreciates you, Lucas." For a while, I believed them. But then, little things started standing out. Whenever I mentioned Melissa, like when I was still handling the lease on our old apartment, my mom's voice would tighten. Like she wasn't sure how to respond. One time, my sister, Vanessa, laughed and said, "Well, you know Melissa, she always lands on her feet." When I asked her what she meant, she changed the subject so fast it felt deliberate. Still, I didn't dwell on it. I had other things on my plate. For months after the breakup, I kept doing what I'd always done, helping out. I sent my parents $500 every month to cover my dad's medical bills. Diabetes, poor diet, skipped appointments. He wasn't exactly helping himself. But I still felt responsible. I watched Vanessa's son, Theo, twice a week so she could have a social life. He's 4, a cool little kid. Honestly, not his fault his mom's a selfish piece of work. I even helped my older brother, Ryan, move into his new downtown condo. 2 full days of hauling furniture, lifting heavy boxes, and destroying my back while he stood around making phone calls about big deals. And then, at the end of moving day, it happened, the moment that should have been my first real clue. We all sat around his fancy kitchen island, me, Ryan, Vanessa, and a couple of his banker buddies. Drinks were flowing. One of his friends joked, "Hey Lucas, do EMTs get discounts on ambulance rides? Because after all these drinks, I might need one." I chuckled, playing along. But Ryan? He leaned back in his designer chair and smirked. "Nah, man, Lucas just drives the truck. You want a real discount? You need an actual doctor. Maybe in his next life." "Right, bro?" Laughter. From everyone but me. Vanessa giggled the loudest. Like it was hilarious that her own brother wasn't successful enough. I wanted to say something. To shut it down. But what was the point? If I called them out, I'd look overly sensitive. So I forced a smile. Let it go. But I didn't forget. I'd always known Ryan saw himself as superior. He was the golden child, the investment banker with the perfect life. Meanwhile, I was just the guy who drives the truck. And for the first time, I realized, maybe my entire family saw me that way too. The family favorite and the forgotten son. Looking back, I should have seen it coming. It had always been this way. Ryan got brand new clothes. I got his hand-me-downs. Vanessa got dance lessons and gymnastics. I was told sports were too expensive, especially after Ryan's baseball gear drained the budget. When I won a statewide award for a science project in high school, my parents skipped the ceremony because Ryan had a college interview. Their house is covered in framed photos, Ryan in his suit at work, Vanessa in her graduation cap. Me? The only picture they have of me is from a family trip when I was 12. But there was one moment that stuck with me more than anything. Senior year, I was nominated for a statewide EMT scholarship. A big deal. Only 5 people in the entire state got interviews. And I was one of them. My parents promised they'd come with me to show their support. The night before, Ryan called. His firm had a networking gala. And he needed mom and dad there. And just like that, my interview, the biggest opportunity of my life, became second priority. I went alone. Didn't even get a good luck text. Found out later that my parents had spent the night bragging to strangers about Ryan's promotion. When I confronted them, my dad just said, "We have to prioritize, Lucas." And I guess I was never the priority. But I told myself it was fine. That's just how families work. Not everyone gets the spotlight. And honestly, I was okay with that. I thought being the reliable one counted for something. So when Christmas rolled around, and I got the text from my mom, I didn't question it. "Lucas, honey, we're canceling Christmas dinner this year. Your father's medical bills have piled up. And we just can't swing it. We'll do something small in January to make up for it. Love you." I didn't hesitate. I called her back immediately and offered to pay for the whole thing. "Mom, I'll cover it. We can even do it at my place. It's small. But we'll make it work." But she shut me down fast. No, it's fine. We'll just have a quiet Christmas this year." She sounded weird, distracted. And then, a week later, I got a random text from Vanessa. "We're still good for Thursday night, right? Bring the snacks." That was it. No context. I asked her what she meant. But she brushed it off. Oops, wrong person. Ignore that. I shrugged it off. Maybe it really was just a text meant for a friend. But something about it stuck with me. Like an offbeat note in an otherwise predictable song. And on Christmas Eve, I decided to trust my gut. I grabbed some gifts, picked up takeout, and drove to my parents' house, figuring, at the very least, I'd drop off presents and maybe bring them some food. That's when I saw it. Cars lined up along the curb. Not just any cars. Ryan's Tesla, the one he can barely afford. Vanessa's Range Rover, the one her ex bought her. My aunt and uncle's Audi. I sat there in my truck, staring. The house that supposedly couldn't afford Christmas was fully lit up. Through the window, I could see the dining table set with the good china, the fancy plates only used for holidays. A Christmas tree glowing in the corner. And the final punch to the gut? Standing in my family's living room, laughing like she belonged there, was Melissa, my ex-fiancée. Right beside her, Vanessa, showing her something on her phone, both of them giggling like best friends. For a second, I thought I was hallucinating. Like my brain had short-circuited from stress. But no, it was real. Melissa, the woman who dumped me because I wasn't successful enough, was at my family's Christmas dinner. The one I wasn't invited to. I must have sat there for a full minute, heart-pounding, trying to make sense of it. And then, without thinking, I stepped out of my truck and rang the doorbell. The second my mom opened the door and saw me, her face dropped. "Lucas, what are you doing here?" I stared at her. I thought Christmas was canceled. Her eyes flickered behind her, where the party had gone silent. My dad looked uncomfortable. Vanessa and Melissa were whispering. And Ryan? He just smirked. The kind of smirk that said, "Yeah, we did this, and we don't even feel bad about it." I clenched my fists. For years, I had felt like I was second place in my own family. Like I was the spare son, the one they only called when they needed something. But this was a whole new level of betrayal. And I wasn't going to just walk away without an explanation. The moment everything changed, my mom stood there, still gripping the door handle like she could somehow keep me from stepping inside. "Lucas, we managed to pull something small together last minute. Just family and a few friends." I followed her gaze, right to Melissa. "Friends?" I repeated, my voice hollow. Melissa avoided my eyes, suddenly very interested in the floor. Vanessa shifted closer to her, like she was protecting her from me. And Ryan? That smug grin didn't waver. He leaned back against the doorway, arms crossed, completely unfazed. That's when I realized, he wanted me to find out this way. He wanted to see my reaction. I could see my mom scrambling to find a way to spin this. She's always been good at rewriting reality, twisting the truth until it benefits her. Like when she told everyone Ryan got a scholarship to his private high school, when in reality, my grandparents paid for it. Or how she tells people I just haven't found my path yet, instead of acknowledging that I've been an EMT for 7 years and actually love my job. "Lucas, honey, why don't you come in? There's plenty of food." Like this was just some minor misunderstanding. Like this wasn't a complete betrayal. I glanced past her, taking in the scene, the beautifully set table, the glasses of wine in my relatives' hands, the holiday decorations I knew my mom had spent weeks preparing. They hadn't just forgotten to invite me. They had chosen not to. My own family had excluded me from Christmas. And worse, they had invited the woman who broke my heart. The weight of it settled in my chest like a lead brick. My entire life, I had been the reliable one. The son who showed up. The one who paid their bills. The one who watched Vanessa's kid so she could have a social life. The one who spent hours fixing my dad's favorite watch after he broke it because I knew how much it meant to him. And this was how they repaid me. I took a slow breath, steadying my voice. Someone want to explain what the hell is going on? Silence. Then, finally, my dad cleared his throat. Now, Lucas, don't make a scene. We were going to tell you about this after the holidays. I let out a sharp laugh. Tell me what, exactly? That my own family decided I wasn't good enough to be here? That you all thought setting up my brother with my ex-fiancé was the perfect holiday surprise? My aunt looked uncomfortable. My uncle suddenly found his mashed potatoes very interesting. My cousin had her phone out, recording. Of course, because nothing makes for better social media drama than a family meltdown. Then Ryan stepped forward, his arm casually slung around Melissa's waist. "Look, bro," he said, in that insufferably condescending tone. "Melissa and I connected at the gym a few weeks ago. It just happened. You guys were already over. A few weeks ago." I narrowed my eyes. "We broke up 8 months ago." Melissa shifted uncomfortably, biting her lip. And suddenly, something clicked. The way Ryan always seemed extra interested in my relationship problems. How he started going to the same gym as Melissa around March. How my family pushed me to end things with her, before she could break up with me. I took a step forward. My voice dangerously quiet. "How long?" No one answered. I looked at my mom. She glanced at my dad. My dad stared at the floor. Vanessa rolled her eyes. I clenched my fists. My voice came out louder this time. "How long?" Vanessa sighed, clearly annoyed that this inconvenient drama was unfolding in front of her. "God, Lucas, stop being so dramatic. They've been talking since last summer, before you guys even broke up. But it's not like anything physical happened until after. Last summer, when I was working double shifts to save for a bigger engagement ring because Melissa kept hinting that the one I gave her wasn't impressive enough. While I was busting my ass helping accident victims and heart attack patients. She was texting my brother. And my family knew. My mom had the nerve to say, "Lucas, we thought it would be better this way. Ryan and Melissa have so much more in common. They're both ambitious. And you know, you've always struggled with, well, finding your path." I stared at her. Finding my path? I let out a breathless, humorless laugh. "I've been an EMT for 7 years. I save lives every damn day. I've performed CPR on drowning kids. Pulled people out of burning cars. Kept heart attack victims alive until we got to the hospital." I shook my head. "But because I don't wear a suit or make 6 figures. I'm the one who's struggling to find my path." No one said anything. I turned back to my dad. "And you knew?" His shoulders sagged. "Lucas, we were going to have a small dinner with you tomorrow. Just us. Tomorrow. The afterthought dinner. The leftovers dinner. The consolation prize." It hit me all at once. How many other family gatherings had they had without me? How many times had they gotten together and just not invited me? How long had I been nothing more than an obligation to them? A convenient helper who bailed them out whenever they needed me, but wasn't good enough to be included in their lives? I looked at the people who were supposed to love me. My mom, still trying to smooth this over. "Lucas, please, why don't you grab a plate? There's plenty of food." Ryan, smirking like he won. Melissa, avoiding my eyes, because deep down, even she knew this was messed up. Vanessa, rolling her eyes like I was the one making a scene. I felt sick. I could have turned around and walked away, left with whatever dignity I had left. But I wasn't leaving until I got the truth. So I stepped inside. "Actually, I think I will come in." My mom's fake smile faltered. Because she knew, this wasn't going to go the way she hoped. And I was done playing the good son. The fallout begins. The second I stepped inside, the room went dead silent. The smell of turkey and cinnamon filled the air. The Christmas tree sparkled in the corner. My mom's signature holiday dishes sat on the table. The same food she claimed she couldn't afford to make this year. And all around me, my so-called family stood frozen, watching me like I was the unwelcome guest at their party. Melissa shifted uncomfortably, fiddling with the bracelet Ryan probably bought her. My dad wouldn't meet my eyes. My aunt whispered something to my uncle, who just shook his head. Vanessa? She was back on her phone, probably texting someone about the drama. And Ryan? That smug, self-satisfied smirk hadn't budged. Like he won. Like I was supposed to just accept this. I clenched my jaw, forcing my voice to stay even. So let me get this straight, I said, scanning their faces. Christmas was cancelled because of money problems. Except that was a lie. You just didn't want me here. My mom jumped in immediately. Voice overly sweet. Lucas, honey, it's not like that. Oh, it's exactly like that. I looked directly at Melissa, who had the decency to look ashamed. And you, I said, my voice sharp. You dumped me because I wasn't successful enough. And now you're dating my brother? Was that the plan all along? She swallowed hard, but before she could answer, Ryan casually draped an arm around her shoulder. Dude, relax. It's not our fault. Melissa realized she could do better. Something inside me snapped. I lunged. My hands gripped the front of Ryan's cashmere sweater, one of those overpriced ones he buys just to look rich, and slammed him against the wall. The room erupted into chaos. What the hell, man? Ryan shouted, trying to shove me off. But he wasn't strong enough. He might lift weights at the gym for show, but I carry unconscious people out of burning cars for a living. He had no chance. My dad rushed forward to break us up, just as Ryan, in his panic, flailed his arm and accidentally elbowed our father in the face. Blood started dripping from my dad's nose. And just like that, everything exploded. The family meltdown. What the hell is wrong with you? My dad roared, clutching his face. Ryan went pale. It was an accident. Lucas attacked me. But for the first time ever, my dad didn't take his side. He turned to my mom. His expression unreadable. You knew about this. All of it. And you let it happen. My mom bristled. Robert, don't act like you didn't agree. We all knew this was for the best. And just like that, 30 years of marriage started cracking right in front of me. I never wanted to lie to Lucas. My dad shot back. You convinced me it was better this way. That it was his fault for not being ambitious enough. My aunt jumped in, trying to be the peacemaker. Maybe we should all sit down and have dinner. Things seem worse on an empty stomach. Classic Aunt Linda. Like mashed potatoes could fix this. Meanwhile, Vanessa was huffing like she was the real victim here. Great. Now Christmas is ruined. Thanks a lot, Lucas. That did it. I laughed. Actually laughed. Oh, I ruined Christmas? Not Ryan. For dating my ex? Not Mom. For lying? Not all of you. For excluding me? No. It's my fault for finding out. Right? My mom tried again. Her voice softer now. Sweetheart, you're overreacting. We were going to have a special dinner for you tomorrow. Tomorrow. The leftover dinner. The afterthought dinner. The scraps dinner. I shook my head. I'm done. My mom frowned. Lucas, don't be ridiculous. We're still family. I met her eyes. My voice quiet but firm. No, we're not. Then I turned and walked out. I ignored my mom calling after me. Ignored Melissa's weak attempt at an apology. Ignored Ryan's smug, whatever. Man, you'll get over it. I just kept walking. And I didn't look back. The aftermath. I drove home that night in complete silence. Didn't turn on the radio. Didn't touch my phone. When I got back to my apartment, I sat on the couch, staring at the wall, trying to process everything. Then I picked up my phone, texted my boss, and asked for extra shifts over the holidays. I turned off my phone, ordered Chinese food, and spent Christmas watching Die Hard alone. And for the first time in years, I felt free. No more obligations. No more being the family ATM. No more being the backup plan. Just me. The next day, my phone blew up with texts. My mom, Vanessa, my aunt, even Ryan. I ignored every single one. Then I made a few calls of my own. I canceled the automatic payments I had set up for my parents' mortgage. Removed my mom and dad as authorized users on my credit card. Contacted a lawyer to make sure my name was off any loans I had been helping them with. Then, I sent a single group text. You can now kiss your personal ATM goodbye. Figure your own lives out. The reaction was nuclear. Vanessa, you can't just abandon your family like this. My mom, your father's medical bills won't pay themselves. Ryan, dude, grow up. I blocked every single one of them. Then, 2 days later, Vanessa showed up at my apartment with her 4-year-old son. Theo. She actually had the audacity to use her kid to guilt trip me. I need you to watch Theo this weekend. I have a date. He misses you. I knelt down, gave Theo my phone to play with, and turned to Vanessa. Remember when I asked you for help moving? And you said you were too tired but then posted club photos that night? She blinked. Lucas, that was one time. And remember when you told Melissa I was being paranoid when I suspected something was up? Even though you knew? She crossed her arms. Oh my God, are you really holding a grudge? They have a real connection. Lucas, that was it. I opened my door. Get out. She scoffed. Wow, you're mentally unstable. No wonder Melissa left you. Then she grabbed Theo's hand and stormed out. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel guilty. The breaking point. The next day, my dad called. I almost didn't answer. But something in me, maybe curiosity, maybe just old habits, made me pick up. He sounded exhausted. Lucas, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. He let out a long sigh. Your mom and we're separating. I know you probably already heard. But I wanted you to hear it from me. I had heard, through my aunt, who was apparently keeping tabs on all the family drama. But hearing my dad actually admit it? That was different. 30 years together, he continued, and I never thought I'd walk away. But Christmas made me realize, I've been ignoring a lot of things. The way your mother treats you. The way she favors Ryan and Vanessa. How I let it happen because it was easier than fighting. I exhaled, rubbing my temples. So what do you want from me? Dad? Nothing, he said, surprising me. I just wanted to tell you that I see it now. And I should have done better by you. I sat there, gripping the phone, not knowing how to respond. Part of me wanted to forgive him. Part of me couldn't, not yet. So I settled for honesty. I need time. I understand, he said, but maybe we could grab coffee sometime. When you're ready. Maybe. I hung up, didn't block his number. It wasn't much, but it was something. The truth about my inheritance. A month later, I got a registered letter from a lawyer. For a second, I panicked. Was my family suing me or something? Were they trying to force me back into their mess? But when I opened it, my stomach dropped. It was about my grandmother's estate. She had passed 5 years ago and left me a small inheritance, something my mom never told me about. The lawyer had been hired by my dad as part of the divorce proceedings. That's when he discovered the truth. My mom had been using my inheritance money to pay off Vanessa's car, to fund Ryan's business school, to keep up with their lifestyles, while I had been working extra shifts to send them my own money. It wasn't a huge inheritance, around $155. But it was mine, and my mother stole it. I was livid. I called the lawyer immediately and told him to recover every last cent. Then I called my dad. Did you know about Grandma's money? I asked, my voice tight. No, he said. I only found out when we started splitting finances. Your mother had an account I never knew about. When I pressured her, she admitted it. She stole from me. Dad. He sighed. I know. And I told her she needs to pay you back. But she doesn't think she did anything wrong. Of course, she didn't. I'll make sure you get what's owed to you. He added, even if I had to take it out of my half of the divorce settlement. That actually made my chest tighten a little. For once in my life, my dad was putting me first. Thanks, Dad. It was the first time in months I had meant it. The best revenge. 4 months after the Christmas disaster, I packed up my life and moved to Colorado. Got a better paying job with a mountain rescue unit. Bought a small cabin, needs work. But it's mine. And the best part? I met someone. Her name's Ashley. She's a veterinarian. Thinks my job is badass. Introduces me to her friends with pride. Not embarrassment. We met after I rescued a stray dog that got hit by a car. She saved the dog. I got a date. And now? The dog, Lucky, lives with us. Oh yeah, we moved in together last month. Because when you're not financially supporting your entire family, turns out, you can actually afford nice things for yourself. My family? They're a mess. My aunt calls every now and then with updates, even though I don't ask. My mom had to downsize to an apartment. She's furious because she actually has to work now. Ryan lost his job, couldn't keep up with his condo payments, and moved back home. Vanessa had to get a full-time job now that I'm not providing free childcare. Oh, and Melissa? She dumped Ryan. Why? Because it turned out his investment banking job wasn't as prestigious or high-paying as he made it seem. Turns out, he was just a glorified account manager with a mountain of debt. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. But the best part? Last month, Melissa showed up at my doorstep. Mascara running, eyes puffy, looking nothing like the polished executive who dumped me. Lucas, I need to talk to you. I was about to shut the door in her face, until she blurted out. I'm pregnant, and I think it might be yours. I actually laughed. We broke up almost a year ago. Try again. She swallowed hard. No, You don't understand. I'm about 3 months along. I was going to tell Ryan it was his. But we only slept together twice. And we used protection both times. But you and I, that last night before we broke up. I crossed my arms. Let me get this straight. You cheated on me with my brother. Dumped me because I wasn't successful enough. Dated my brother. And now, you're pregnant and want me to believe it's mine? Her face crumbled. I know how it sounds. But, I cut her off. Did you also do the math on how many guys you've slept with since me? Like, say, your boss? Her face went white. How did you? Ryan called me last week. Drunk. Found some interesting texts between you and your boss. Something about a weekend trip to the Poconos? 3 months ago. Right around the time you'd have gotten pregnant. Her lip trembled. I took a step back. Not my circus. Not my monkeys. Good luck with the paternity test. Then I shut the door in her face. Ashley was standing in the living room, holding 2 beers, a knowing smile on her face. You okay? She asked. I grinned. Never better. And for the first time in my life, I actually meant it. Final thoughts. It took me years to realize it. But sometimes, the family you're born into isn't the family you need. Sometimes, the best thing you can do for yourself is walk away. If you're the reliable one, the one who's always expected to give while getting nothing in return, just know this. You deserve better. And the best revenge? Living well. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more real-life family dramas. Let me know in the comments what you think about today's story. Was it fair or totally messed up? See you in the next one.